Oh shit, we're rolling.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, let's
oh
just
fuck.
welcome back to another episode of the Letting Go podcast.
Today we're letting go of that bullshit and making way for the good
That-
shit.
And that scrimpy dimp.
Today we're going to be talking to our friend. Well, not yet our friend, but someone I've been admiring for a long time. Fellow YouTuber, you could say. Fellow skateboarder. His name is Dale Decker.
Fellow human.
Fellow human, I like that. I've been trying to avoid the labels lately as well.
Yeah. Fellow artist,
Fellow artist, yeah. That's a good one.
if you will. Dale and George have been chopping it up over text, and George invited him onto the podcast, so he will likely be joining in a few minutes here. And we're just going to shoot some shit. Got a couple questions for him that we wrote down, and hopefully we just get into a nice free-flowing conversation.
Yeah. Dale and I have been getting a little bit textual. So I'm excited to talk to him because I think he's going through a parallel journey in terms of a second channel and trying to figure out what he wants to create. So I'm excited to ask him about that, as well as just kind of where his mind's at and what brought him here, from where he used to be as more of a skate YouTuber. Like, oh, there he is.
Oh, shit, he's popping on right now.
What up?
What's up, man?
I'm in making sure there's like. Okay, we're good.
What's good, Dale?
Not much, man. How are you?
Not bad, man.
What's up, Dale? I don't think we've ever met before.
I've actually never met either of you guys.
That's
I
true.
don't think.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we've never met.
Yeah.
I remember we tried to link up one time when I was in LA a few years ago,
Yeah.
but it never culminated.
Also, how's my audio? I'm using my gamer headphones.
It sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Okay, cool.
I can hear you.
Is this
so
better?
it'll work. I think
No, that's better.
I think that's better.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah, we can pull it away. It might be too loud.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna keep it pretty casual. That's what we're all about.
Sounds good.
So how's life right now?
Loaded question. No, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. To change the subject really quick, I've never done. Actually, have I? I think I've done one other podcast, and it was for Kelly Wakasa's Patreon when he was living
Interesting.
down here like 2 years ago. Yeah, but any other time I've tried to do a podcast, it's like failed miserably. Yeah, it's super weird. Like I was going to go on, or I did go on my friend's podcast twice actually, and it just never got posted. So like I didn't push, I didn't pry. I was just like, okay, maybe it wasn't meant to be, And then
Sure.
I was going to go on like another podcast for another friend, and it never worked out with her either. Just because I was going to do it, but then I wasn't going to do it. It's like a sex podcast too. So
Oh,
I
fire.
didn't want, yeah. And I was like, fuck, I don't know if I'm ready to
To share that type of stuff.
like, yeah, I mean, I want to, but like, I don't know, because I think there's like a lot of important shit that needs to be like discussed when it comes to shit like that. But yeah, I was just like, man, I'm not exactly ready to pull the trigger, but it is something I want to do for sure.
Yeah.
So to get back to your question, I'm sorry.
You're good.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. I think life is, it's a roller coaster. It always is, but it's I'm in like a to keep it corny and cliche, I'm in a valley right now, and it's fine. It's like shit's a series of that. So
Yeah. Do you
yeah,
want to?
but I mean, go ahead.
do you want to crack into why you're in a valley?
I mean, I don't really know. I think it just like sometimes kind of happens, and maybe a lot of it is like self-inducing, but I think there's always outside circumstances too that, are at play, that are out of your control, that you can't really do anything about. So you kind of just got to like roll with the punches and take things as it comes. And then it's kind of like, however you respond and react to shit is going to determine like the events moving forward, So it's like because man, I don't know. A lot of times I'm like kicking and screaming, like in my head, and like with the things I'm doing, I try to like force shit. And, oftentimes when you try to force something, I'm being so vague. When you just try to like, yeah, when you try to like force things to happen, it doesn't really, like for me, it's never been a good outcome.
Well, that's kind of the reason we call this the Letting Go podcast, is because Danny and I have like in parallel found that we prefer to just kind of let things unfold.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think it's a good,
But it's not easy. It's definitely not an easy thing to do.
No. It's simple, but not easy.
Yeah, the concept is simple, but
right.
Yeah,
right.
The actual letting go, the action is fucking so hard.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think you're kind of referring to like the highs and lows of life, and like how you bounce back and stuff like that, in terms of like how you react from like the lows and how you take the highs and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because I'm very much convinced in what I've been taught, that everything is based on how you react to it. Obviously, there's always things at play that are out of your control, right? Like we have all this fucking crazy shit going on in the world right now. None of us are going to be able to fix it. No one's going to be able to, like, you can't fucking do anything about anything like that. But, the one thing you always have control over is you and how you choose to react to shit. And for me, for the most part, like, I'll go kicking and screaming, but as long as I'm not like burning a bridge or like harming anyone, then I consider that like a win.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I'll complain, I'll bitch, I'll fucking, like I might sabotage my own personal shit, which is like in my mind, like morally, like I'm okay with, because like, okay, I didn't like fuck with anyone else's shit, because that's something that like fucks me up if I know that I'm responsible for like someone else's, or I've helped facilitated like either a downfall or a loss in someone else's life. Then it's just like that shit is something that I'm like, damn, like that would be like how do I say, not a setback, but that would be like, I would be disappointed in myself.
Got it. Yeah, I resonate with that. I think we all deserve to kind of have our own space to react to shit, as long as it's not really destructive. Right. For me, it's like when I'm in a valley, I tend to try to fall back on like routine. Like even if I wake up and I'm just like not feeling it, I'll just get my ass up with my alarm clock and like hit the gym that day and try to do my work and just get through it. And then for me, like, I don't know about you, but my valleys tend to be like a couple days per week, but they're very short, But when I'm in it, I'm like, oh shit, like everything is fucked up. But then I'm like the next day, like I go outside, it's sunny, and like I'm like, oh fuck, I was overthinking that whole time. That's kind of how it goes for me.
Interesting.
That's not how it goes for me at all.
Yeah, mine are quick. They're like quick, bumpy roads.
Dude, I'm just like, I get stuck in some shit and then I'm in it, like, and I feel like I'm like grasping for air and there's nothing that I can do. I know if I do this and this, I know if I go on a fucking walk, I know if I like eat healthy, I know if I do shit, I might feel a little bit better, but it's like nothing in this world could get me to fucking do that, because I get so depressed, and then I'm just so anxious, and then I'm just paralyzed, and I'm fucking scared to do anything, and then I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna succumb to this, and then maybe it'll go away at some point. And then it like never goes away.
Fucking same, man. Like I've been like, I'll get in a rut and I'm there for a while, and when I'm on a high, I'm there for a while. It's funny because like whenever I'm like really high up and I'm doing really good, like I know it's coming. I know
Right.
that like
Yeah.
I know the fucking dip is coming, and it's like, I was in a fucking really good spot during COVID, ironically, I think a lot of people who do something internet based were. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
and I said it, I repeated it to the people around me, like it ain't gonna last forever. No one stays on top forever. Like shit's gonna fucking like I gotta
Yeah.
prepare for this fucking dip.
Yeah, that was
And I mean that.
the pandemic was
Go
my
ahead.
peak on YouTube.
Yeah, same, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had to come to learn that, like, because I was stoked when it was all happening, and I was like fucking finally, dude. I've been doing this shit for like, for fucking years, and I was hyped to finally see numbers that I was like proud of, and I thought like I found a formula that was like working, and then pandemic's over, everyone goes outside, and it's like, oh, people like, it wasn't like, it was half facilitated by that, the fact
Right.
that everyone was inside and bored and watching shit, and which is cool, but it's like, yeah, I don't know, it just kind of pushes me in another direction.
I feel you. Yeah, I want to crack into YouTube, but before that, you're talking about these highs
Yeah,
and
yeah.
lows. Like when you say a high period, like what does that look like? Like, are you just feeling mentally good, or is your career doing well? Like, what does your high feel like in life?
I think it's a combination of things, like, having and maybe that's a lesson I need to learn, is like not to attach so much of like my inner peace with the success of like my career and like what I'm doing. But dude, it's like fucking hard. Like people love and okay, I'm gonna get this is gonna get me fucking going, because like, dude, it's super
Hell yeah.
fucking hard, and you got fucking genres of fucking content creators who make content about this kind of stuff, and they're like, oh, you just gotta be fucking okay with yourself, and then it's like, dude, I'm like, everyone's just regurgitating the same shit, and it's easy for a viewer to be like, yeah, easy for you to fucking say you fucking work for yourself and you have a super successful YouTube channel, and I mean, dude, like, people probably say the same shit about us, but it's like,
Yeah.
People don't really know what the numbers look like on the back end. They don't know what like the revenue looks like. They don't know how much money I'm making a month, and it's like, and it fucking comes in spurts. But to my point, it's like, man, I don't even remember the question. I just started going off on a tangent, but yeah, I mean, what my peaks and what my
That's right.
highs look like.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, what my highs look like. Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of things, like obviously money doesn't make you happy,
Yeah,
right?
but it's important.
But yeah, dude, it's like that's kind of like a privileged thing to say. It's because it's like, dude, what about the fucking people that are like the janitors working their asses off, that make fucking, that might not even be making as much as the teachers, and it's like, dude, if they had a fucking extra 20 grand a year, like, dude, that would change their lives. So it's like, yeah, it doesn't make you internally happy, but I think that message gets misunderstood and misrepresented a lot, because people don't, like, everyone's so concerned about like wanting to be happy, and that's something that I've like tried to stop searching for. It's like, I'm not searching for happiness. I think it's like, at this point, I'm like, it's the wrong thing to search for. I just want peace. I want balance. It's like,
Okay.
yeah, shit's gonna get rough. Shit's gonna be good. It's like, it's always gonna go like that. So I mean, just being okay with like where I'm at now is what I really want, because it's like, shit comes and goes.
I mean, that's pretty. I feel like that's pretty fucking zen, actually, to just acknowledge that the ups and downs are gonna come and be okay with that, because then when you're in the down, you're kind of just observing it and waiting for the next phase. So I think that's really cool. I try to look at life the same
Right.
way, actually.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a battle. It's like, I mean, at least for me, like, and this is something that, like, when I see it in other people, I really hate it, and it's because it's me. Like, there's a saying in a program that I got sober in called they always say, if you spot it, you got it. So it's like, if I see somebody, and see something that I don't like about somebody, usually it's because I possess that same trait, and I don't like that about myself,
Yeah. I believe that. I think that applies to relationships too. Like, I think when you start liking a person, I think it tends to be because they have some elements in their personality that you want to emphasize in yourself,
For sure. Absolutely.
Interesting stuff, man.
Yeah, it's like, because, my girlfriend, she is, to me, it's like, she's a very, like, stable, level-headed, organized person, which, like, I don't see myself that way, And I've had people tell me the opposite, but to me, in my mind, I'm this, like, super disorganized person. My mind's always all over the place. I'm always, like, obsessing and overthinking about every little thing. I don't give myself a break, and it's something I'm really trying to work on. But Anne, she's just, like, super organized, and she's, like, super fucking hardworking, and it's like all that shit is super attractive to me.
Right. And yeah, those I would say those are all qualities maybe you don't think that you have fully developed, but they're there, and your attraction to her represents that, like, you want to develop those qualities in yourself. That's my psychoanalysis.
Well, yeah,
Sure,
I mean, George,
sure,
that's kind of like what we spoke about a couple podcasts. I think it was on a podcast. It might have been on one of our live streams. That, like, when you and I became friends, that was like something that you were, like, trying to emphasize in yourself, was like the social aspect. Like, you wanted to be more social.
Yeah, I'm hella shy.
Well, you were back then, but not anymore. But Dale, I had a question for you about you were talking about getting sober.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that your mindset or perspective that you have now, and the things that you say, kind of like that more of a Zen perspective, comes from coming out of that and getting sober?
100%. Yeah, it's shaped, like, my entire not personality, that's not the right word, but for lack of a better way to put it, it's fully shaped who I am.
Like your outlook?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I mean, I didn't really have, I mean, we all have dysfunctional families, right? But it's like, when, in my situation growing up, like, I didn't really have, like, guidance, and I didn't really know how to navigate life, and I didn't really exactly have great examples of that. Obviously, my parents did the best they could, love them to death, but, that was just my experience. So once I got sober and, like, started getting help in that way, all of those people kind of gave me, like, direction, and it gave me, like, a tool. It was like a toolbox, I was like, oh, okay, like, I can do this, this, and this, and, like, oh, really? If, like, you can fucking have different outcomes if you just choose to, like, react differently, and I don't want to get it twisted either. I don't want to say that it's like, just think positive and, fucking everything's gonna be good, because that's another topic I feel super strongly about. But yeah, totally 100%. Shaped, like, who I am.
Right, and it seems like that's related to what you said about, like, how you feel like you're kind of in control of your own reactions, right? Is that kind of where that was born?
Yeah, 100%. Because you can't, like, you don't have any control over someone else. Like, I don't have control over literally anyone else or what anyone else chooses to do. The only thing I have control over is how I react to it,
Yeah, it's kind of I think it's a very freeing mindset, actually.
It is.
Oh, for sure.
It is. I mean, it's powerful. It gives you the ability to, fucking change your world and, like, kind of build it as you go, rather than, like, feeling like a victim all the time,
Right.
Because that's, like, it's like, I don't know. That's been, like, a theme in my life, I guess, is, like, balance, because I'm, like, I'm so headstrong on being, like, anti-toxic positivity, and then at the same time I'm headstrong on, like, just not victimizing yourself and not being a victim to your own, like, mind and your own inner dialogue.
Yeah. Do you want to explain what toxic positivity means to you?
Yeah. So, I guess what it means to me. I made a whole video about this actually, like a year ago.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, it did super well. It was on my, it's the first video on my second channel, and it got like 180,000 views is what it has now. And
Nice. Wow.
yeah, and like, dude, I started that second channel so fucking strong, and then it just fell flat because I did not know, because I was trying to just strategize that channel so hard that I ended up just not making anything because I was like, oh, I can't post any, and then it just resulted in half-ass content, which now I'm like a year later gonna. But anyway, yeah, toxic positivity. I guess it's just like people fall back on like what they think it means to be positive, or they use it as like a cop out or a scapegoat answer to not personally what I feel, to not fully like see where the other person's coming from, or to like actually listen to them, or to try to understand what they're actually saying. And it's like it's like people who have this like qualm with negativity, and I think negativity can be a good thing, because I'm trying to remember what I said in that video, because it's like, if you're just kind of being positive all the time and refusing to address shit, refusing to address like the negative aspects about yourself or the negative aspects about a situation, and you're just kind of like blanketing that with, oh, just be positive, it'll work out, it'll all be like, yeah, that's a great way to think, but you also have to like unpack shit, because we all have shit that we've done and dealt with that we don't like about ourselves. We've all been through shit. So it's like, if you don't unpack that stuff and you just kind of ignore it and let it sit on the back burner, it's never going to get fixed. It's going to come back to haunt you. It's going to seep out in other ways. It's like fucking filling up a jar, You fill up a jar with so much shit, like eventually the lid's going to blow off. Like eventually the lid's not going to be able to be put on, So like, I'm a big proponent in like dealing with your shit,
Okay.
and figuring it out, and like what's called taking inventory. So like, I think a lot of the, positivity movement, if that's a thing, a lot of the positivity rhetoric that you hear on the internet it neglects that, and it refuses, and it doesn't it doesn't take that into consideration. And it's just kind of like, oh, you had a hard life. Oh, well, just be positive. Just have a better attitude. It's like, dude, like, you don't know what the fuck that person's been through. You don't know like what they've had to go through to like get where they are, or what they've had to climb out of. So it's just, it feels dismissive.
I see. Okay, so you have
Yeah.
a problem with that when it creates a lack of empathy, and when it's used to suppress issues within.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
That
have a
makes
problem
sense.
with having a good outlook on life, and
Right, like it's not like you're against optimism.
no, but I'm more interested in
Like false optimism.
yeah. I fucking hate
Like,
that.
don't sweep that shit under the rug.
No.
Like fucking deal with it. It's gonna blow up in your face if you never talk about it.
Yeah.
Type of shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hear you, and that makes total sense, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like that. I tried being like that, where I was like, fuck it, I just have to be positive and everything's going to be okay. And every single time I tried doing that, it's like nothing ever got better in terms of like mental health issues,
It's because
And then I went to.
or go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say.
No, you're good. Keep going.
It lacks work. It's like
Yeah,
you need
100%.
Yeah, you need to put in the work to overcome your shit, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. And I had a huge phase of that. Like my early 20s, from like 18 to 21, dude. Today in 2022, it's a fucking giant meme. Like, I read The Secret. I thought it changed my life. And I mean, it did to some extent. Like, I understood that, like, oh, like, if your attitude's different, you're going to have a different experience. Yeah, that's true up until a certain extent, But I had a huge phase of that, man. Huge phase of that.
Yeah, me too. I bought like all these law of attraction books
Yup.
and like I was making fucking like vision boards and like this is where I want to see my life and like I would try to like I want this or I see myself here like I am strong. I am happy.
Yeah.
And then I was like at the end of it I'm like holy fuck dude, I like am more destroyed than I was before because it's like I'm not attracting anything. Where the fuck is everything I'm trying to get? And it's like, no, I mean, yeah, you got to do the work.
Yeah,
You know?
and
Then what I was gonna say was that sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
So me personally, so you went to treatment to get sober, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to treatment myself. I went to a substance use for a. Well, I went to a what do you call it? I'm lacking the word right now, but like a dual diagnosis place.
Got it.
And
Yeah.
so it was mental health and substance use, and I've been twice now. I'm not sober. I think I had issues that could be dealt with by me personally being able to minimize. But back then, like I don't really struggle with this kind of thing now, but the mental health aspect of it was like the more important part for me. And basically what I'm trying to get at is like if I didn't do all that work and I was there for 7 months, if I didn't do all that work there, it's like, and if I just kept sweeping it under the rug, it's like I feel like my entire life would have just like completely blown up because
Yeah.
I was so sick and tired of hearing like, oh, just take a shower. Okay, I'll take a shower. Fuck, I don't feel better. Oh, just go out do this. Fuck, you don't feel better. So basically, I mean, I feel like now I'm going off on a tangent, but like,
No, you're good.
I get what you're saying about doing the work and like do the work and everything will change in your fucking life. And I think that just goes with everything. Like you can't half-ass something. You can get lucky, but at the end of the day, you got to do the fucking work.
Yeah, and I don't want to get it confused either with like everything in your life will change, but for me when I hear everything, I think like my mindset, my approach to life, because like it's not a guarantee that you're gonna get like material things or even that you're gonna achieve a certain goal. You just might have the newfound like experience or liberation to just be okay finally with where you're at and stop like
100%.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. Yeah, I feel like I've been finding out a lot about that lately. I'm sure you know Chad, right? Chad Caruso.
Yeah.
So he's a really good friend of ours. And he's like, I mean, you know, he's sober and he's like heavy into like Buddhism and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
he's what got George into meditating, and he's like what got me into like basically the same shit, like just learning all about Buddhism and wanting to be open to it. And if it wasn't for like learning about all that stuff, it's like what you're saying right now makes so much sense, and it's something I would have never been able to be okay with. Like, oh, even if it doesn't work out, like you can still learn to be fine. And like that's kind of, I don't know, it's just for me in my brain right now, I just keep going back to just the fact that like if you can get in that mindset, it's like literally everything in the world can be okay.
Yeah.
But then is that being too optimistic, or is that being too positive?
That's what I was wondering.
Or is the toxic positivity this like this false sense of like pushing positivity on the internet or pushing positivity to people that haven't yet discovered that life can be okay regardless of anything?
It's not, so I don't think it's specific to the internet at all. I think it's I just think it's like
Or society as a whole, I mean.
yeah, I think it's just a little short-sighted and naive, you know? And maybe the word toxic is like too harsh. It probably is, you know? It sounds fucking dramatic. The word toxic is sexy. It's a fucking buzzword.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
for
So it's
sure.
like, which like, yeah, dude, I mean, I hate so many fucking things. But
Dude, that could be a whole nother podcast in itself. Like, what does Dale Decker
That would
hate?
be good.
dude, so many fucking things. But it's all shit that I fucking hate about, like, that I probably grew out of, that like I used to be and that I fucking
No, I
hate about
feel you.
myself, you know? It's like,
No, I feel you 100%. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of shit like that. It's like, fuck, I fucking hate, I don't know, the internet. But I also, like, love the internet, you know?
yeah, like
I don't fucking know.
my fucking on-running joke that I that I say when I'm around like, my friends or Drea, my girlfriend, is I just always like repeat that I fucking hate art or like I hate music. Yeah, but it's like, obviously I don't actually hate art, but it's like I'll get to a place where I just fucking hate everything.
I see.
That's an easy one. Like every skater says, like I hate skateboarding. Like fuck skateboarding. I hate skateboarding, and then like
But I'm different. I actually do hate it. I'm unique.
You hate skating?
I low key hate skateboarding as well, and I just like I don't know. Sometimes I love skating.
Yeah.
But I like sometimes like fuck, dude. Why the fuck did I start skating?
Dale,
like,
are you a skater?
I could.
Yeah.
But you hate it?
Yeah. No, I don't actually hate it. I'm like being half
so you're doing
serious, half joking.
No,
yeah.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. It's like I just, what once drew me to skating, what was once sexy about skating to me is not attractive to me anymore.
Ooh, fuck yeah. I feel that 100%.
Me too.
Yeah. I really enjoy skating. And dude, it's funny because it's like the type of skating that I've always really enjoyed. How old are you guys?
I'm 25.
Okay.
I'm 26.
Okay, so you guys
27
you guys
summer.
might remember this. Did you guys have Tumblr?
Yeah.
I
How old
never
are you,
used
Dale?
Tumblr.
31.
Okay.
Okay, so there used to be this Tumblr.
Yeah, I used Tumblr. I was on Tumblr.
Okay, there used to be this Tumblr page called Recordings of Boardings, and it was like, dude, it had all these sick edits, all these sick videos. It was just like a reblog page, and it was like all of the, basically what are now all of the limousine dudes, like the 917 dudes, the limousine dudes. I think the person who used to post all this shit was just Johnny Wilson. The dude that filmed all that stuff. I could be butchering all this information, by the way, but it was that crew, and it was Max Palmer, Cyrus Bennett, all those dudes, and like that's the shit I watched. Like that's still the shit that I find interesting, like stuff like the Sour videos, and it's like, and like that's the type of skating that I enjoy watching. But I can't stand like the pretentious art gatekeepy bullshit about like that I think stems hard from that side of skating. And like I used to be like that. Like I was super fucking into gatekeeping skating.
Like
and
you-
like now I look.
You mean like
Go
the
ahead.
image that it's like cool and trendy, essentially?
Sure, but even that just feels like, and I mean, dude, look, I get it. It's like it's what kids are like into. And it's like it's at this point like I might have just fucking outgrown it, and like that's fine, but it's like hard for me to accept because it's so much a part of my identity that it's threatening to me. It's threatening when I'm seeing all these things that I feel like I can't unsee, But I mean that's a me issue. Like that's my problem. It's
Yeah.
like because it's like all these kids, like they're just going through the same shit that like we all went through, and they're just into the same shit that like I was once into, So like I don't know why I have such an issue with it. Like, and I think that's the point I'm kind of coming to is like, you know what? I don't fucking care. I'm going to fucking move on. I've been having a lot more fun skating lately, just going out and just going out with Dan and like we'll go spot searching and skate like non-spots. It's super fun. But
that's I think now for me that's the same. Like that's the most fun thing to do. I feel like I don't. Okay, so for a little context, I always talk about now how I am trying to get further and further away from my identity that I held as a skater. It's like I no longer, I don't like, I love skateboarding, but I don't really identify with like being a skater that much anymore.
sure.
Because I kind of like don't love the culture, that much.
It's different
like,
now.
I don't exactly. It's a lot different now. Like I mean, early 2000s and like even like in like the 2010s, like it was still like it still felt better. But now like things are so different. But what I'm trying to say is what you said right now about that it's threatening to you to not. You're saying it's threatening for you to not identify as a skater because then who are you?
Exactly. That's what happens when you
Yeah.
attach your identity and your self-worth to something outside of you. So I'm kind
Yeah.
of learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning how to be a person without attaching my identity to something.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny. Actually, in the 5 minutes before you hopped on, we were trying to describe you, and we were using all these words like content creator, skater, and then Danny was like human being. And I was like, oh, dude, yeah, that feels much better, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely true. I am human. I promise.
So we think, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Fuck, I was about to say something and now I can't remember.
Should we crack into?
What the fuck were you just saying?
I kind of want to crack into YouTube. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think we should go into that, and actually, it's a great segue because I think what you're saying also could maybe be the reason why like skate vlogs don't work anymore, is because like there's like been a recycle of like how skating was like a long time ago to how it is now. It's like people don't want maybe that kooky side of skating anymore.
What do you mean recycle?
More, like going back to that gatekeeping kind of mentality.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
I feel like skating wants to be hardcore.
I don't know if
again.
it's necessarily true that skate vlogs aren't working. I think that a lot of us. I think that a lot of us have just been running it stale. Like we've been doing it for years, and our audiences are bored of it.
Exactly. That's what I think is going on. I think we're old faces, you know, because look at Dan, dude. Dan's killing it. And like,
yeah, that's true.
He's essentially doing skate vlogs. I mean, like whatever you want to define as a skate vlog, right? Like, I mean, when I first started doing this, I emulated John because I thought that that's how you did this and that's what you had to do. I had no recollection or I had no introduction or concept of what it meant to be a YouTuber or what YouTube was. Like, I didn't know there were people on YouTube making a living, you know? I fucking hated on John so hard when he started doing the YouTube thing, dude. Dude, fuck yeah.
And that was before you met him?
No. I've known John since I moved here.
Oh, really? Okay.
But yeah, so I watched his transition from being this skater, and I'm gonna try to fucking go pro and play my cards right. And that's what people do when they move out here. It's like, I mean, I don't really see it anymore because I'm not super involved in that world, but kids fucking move here, start hanging out with the filmers, start trying to get in the right crews so they can get put on a company, and, that's the route people take. It's like this fucking little social ladder climb, and or at least it was. I don't know that it's like that anymore. That's what it felt like, though. And, then he was just he just started doing the YouTube thing, and I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You're literally shooting your career in the foot. And then I started watching him for as a guilty pleasure, because like I said, getting sober shaped me, and that kind of those kind of tools helped me. And a lot of the stuff John was saying back then resonated with me, and I related to it. And yeah, but it was different too, because it's John was just my friend. John and I, we weren't best friends, but we were close. We hung out and skated together a lot. We were in the same group of people, that went out and skated. But yeah, I didn't know even what it was to be a YouTuber. I was just oh, okay, so this is how you do it. You have to do this vlog thing. And so I was all right, so fucking just film myself going and doing shit, and I'll film my session throughout the day. And then once I learned, I pulled away from that because I was oh, I don't have to do all this.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I was similar actually. John was a big template of mine, as well as Andy Schrock.
Sure.
And I also, I just took it as a given, and especially when that was what was making me money a few years later, I took that as a template even harder. I was like, okay, this is what I got to do.
Right.
Now at the beginning, and so I actually have been watching your channel since I found you through John, and I've been watching your stuff for a long time. I actually am pretty sure I saw your wall ride nollie outs, and I was I gotta fucking learn this, and now it's one of my favorites.
That's sick. Yeah.
Little
it's a fun
fanboy
trick.
moment.
Dude, that's crazy.
But
yeah, I remember. I feel
go
I
ahead.
remember seeing some of your comments on like my first videos, and I was like, oh, who's this guy? And I was like, oh, he does this too. Like,
Yeah.
dude, it's crazy. Like, I had no idea that this world like existed. I just knew that it was like bad. Like, you don't do that. If you do that, you're like you're signing up for like core skate career industry death, you know? And it's like it's funny because I don't like God, I haven't talked about this in a long time, but even the divide of like dividing core and skating and like YouTube, it's not anymore. It is all one thing. It's like that whole thing, like that conversation doesn't really, I feel like, even exist anymore. It just like yeah.
Yeah, I had a string of videos where I was talking about this divide, and
Me too.
a few weeks later I was like, I think actually making the videos and talking it out made me realize that it's all just arbitrary, you know? It's just this
sure.
weird mental thing that doesn't actually make a difference.
For sure.
And it's been freeing. It's been freeing to let go of that, and I actually think it's helped me enjoy skating more. I think when I like really identified as this YouTuber and created this divide in my head, I like felt like people didn't like me more than they actually did, you know?
Yeah, we did that to ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I realized that too. Like a few years ago, I was like, oh, by like talking about this and like and putting this out here, I'm like pigeonholing myself. And that's another thing, kind of what I meant, like to touch back on a topic earlier. Like I'm a victim to my own self-sabotage. Like,
Yes.
like, and that's one of the ways that it manifests into my life is like me fucking pigeonholing myself into a corner. And it's like, in a year, 6 months, 2 years, whatever, I'm going to look back at now and be able to see what I was doing that was like causing all of this discomfort and like maybe why my fucking like career isn't going the way that I want it to.
Yeah.
It feels
yeah.
fucking super weird to like call this YouTube thing a career, by the way. Like
I feel
using
you.
those kind of words, like, yeah.
No, but that's really wise, actually, Dale, to kind of understand that we are probably the thing standing in our own way, even though it can be almost impossible to see when you're like in it.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
I can't see it, but I have that like awareness because I've done it to myself so many times that like I'm aware that that's what's going on, but you can't see it. You know, it's like that cliche, hindsight is 20/20. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's like
Well, it's interesting that, George, you remember like when we used to go out and we would film like every single day, and then like we'd be like we would coordinate like what we were gonna bring to the skate park because we were so worried about like what people at the skate park were gonna think about us. So we had like our high key setups where we would bring like our like big tripods, and then we had like the low key where you bring like the little Joby Gorilla Pod
Yeah.
and like the smaller camera, and like we were like hyper fixated on
Being
like
judged.
like on like we just thought everyone was judging us, and
Dude,
and then after the sesh we'd be like, oh, that wasn't too bad, or like we'd be like, dude, that guy was like talking
Yeah.
shit, or like something like
I
that.
hate to use
And,
this
like,
sexist terminology, but we were fucking pussies, dude. For real.
no, like it's true.
I mean, I
though.
think
like,
most
we
skaters
definitely
are.
were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we
Yeah.
are playing with a toy, and we think we're the shit.
yeah, yeah.
But like we even talked about this like when we weren't skating. Like this was like a topic that was always getting brought up. We used to call core skaters Corys. And
That's
like,
funny.
We'd
Corys.
like, and like we used to call ourselves like we used to say like, yeah, we're fucking
Right, we did.
kooks.
We
Like,
self-identify.
That's who we are. Like we're kooks.
No,
Like,
that's
we're
cool.
the kooky skaters.
Yeah.
So much so to like I've even described that to like my girlfriend, for example. She's like, she would say like, why don't you just go to the skate park and make some friends? And I'm like, because I like to film myself skateboarding and talk to a camera. Like there's no way like the guy at the skate park's gonna want to be my friend.
Dude,
because I'm
it was such a different
doing this.
Yeah, it was such a different thing. Like even 3 years ago, like it was really this thing that was super like, you know, I don't know, frowned upon, and like, you know,
It definitely was frowned upon.
yeah, and like even in the beginning, dude, like I got to a point where I was like, I don't give a fuck, I don't care anymore,
Yeah.
like, you know, and like and at the time that felt like really punk of me to be like, nah, I don't give a fuck, I'm just gonna film wherever and do whatever. But then, you know, as time went on, I was like, oh, this is like a little selfish if I'm just like hogging the skate park with my fucking vlog,
Yeah.
you know. So I was like,
Okay,
I
So-
think there's a way to do it respectfully, though.
for sure.
Yeah. But Dale, I got a question for you, because this is something that has popped into my mind many times while like skating, and I'm sure George and I have talked about it. When you have like your tripod, when you have had your tripod set up and like you're filming like a skate park sesh, or even when you just think about the act of like vlogging at a skate park, do you ever think about like, okay, maybe if I skate like harder and like I'm skating really well, like that makes it more okay for me to film myself? Or do you feel like if you're not skating well, it's like, why, like people are going to judge me for how I'm skating and I'm filming myself?
No. So, I think if I'm at a skate park, I just use my phone.
Mhm.
And
Okay, I see.
the phone automatically makes it okay.
Yeah, you're right.
And
It does.
and also it's like a skate park, like, you know, because I haven't done the tripod setup thing in years. Like I did that for a little bit, and then like I moved away from it because I was like, okay, that's John's thing. I want to like start differentiating
see.
myself, because it's like I'm just kind of in John's shadow. And so I was like, okay, I don't do tripod stuff. I don't do film tripod skating anymore because it.
So do you put the phone on your on a small tripod, or just like on the ground?
No, I only film like if I have someone else to film with. Like that's why I kind of like, I mean that's like all of 2019 my videos were just like, you know, going skating with.
No,
Dan.
I meant before the shift happened.
Oh yeah, I put a camera on a tripod. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, at when did it happen that you did you go full time on YouTube?
Immediately.
Oh, immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
And are you
'Cause
still today?
Yeah.
In terms of like sustaining yourself financially.
If I didn't have CCS, I'd be in a much worse position.
What's going on with CCS? I
Right.
wanted to ask you about that.
I just run their TikTok.
Okay, and that's like a gig.
It's a job. Yeah.
That's sick.
Like if I didn't have that, like I wouldn't be able to just like I'd probably be pulling from my savings a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Which would
awesome.
suck.
And so, okay, let's I want you to tell us about like what, because Danny and I are both going through this kind of crisis. I think mine is settling down regarding like, should we keep posting skate videos on the skate channel, or should we do this second channel, or should we just be ourselves on the skate channel? What, I know you have your second channel now. I also really enjoyed the video you just posted, by the way.
Thanks,
But
man.
what's your mindset with that separation, and where are you at with that right now?
Well, I feel like I'm still gonna post on my skate channel. You know, it's my bread and butter. You know, shooting for the stars here. I would really like my second channel to replace my main channel, so I can do more broad things, so that I don't have to hit the fucking ceiling of skating. You know, because if you look at all the skate channels right now, Dan's is, with the exception of Luis Mora, he's an anomaly. Gifted Hater might be a bit of an anomaly too, but Dan's channel's kind of doing the best,
Yeah.
you know, but only by, like, you know, in terms of accumulation over the course of a month, he posts every day. He's getting the most views by like a lot, but in terms of per video, he's only doing like a little bit better than everyone. But to me, the only thing that tells me is that, like, dude, the skating pool is like really fucking small, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I started doing this because I wanted to make a living skating, and like I saw an opportunity, and I was just kind of like, you know, like you've said, like I thought it was like arbitrary to play by these rules and climb this social ladder in skating, and you know, so I was like, oh, okay, why can't I do this? And you know, we can get into like all the other things that are fucking terrible about, like, you know, content creators and stuff like that too. Like, they're like, people do shitty things everywhere, right? You know, but that was an aspect about the industry where I was like, okay, so you're telling me that I have to like fucking put on this uniform and do things a certain way, and it's like, that isn't like the reason I got into skating is because at the time it was this like anti thing, you know, and it's like that story has kind of been lost within skating, which is fine. I don't think skating needs that story. But I just fucking went on a tangent and I forgot what the question even was. God damn it.
We're talking about like what brought you to the second channel and where your mindset is at.
Oh, yeah.
Which you've actually answered pretty well already, but if you have more thoughts, feel free to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just that, I've also kind of like made all this skate content that I feel like I could make,
right.
Like, dude, I've made 3 different videos about kickflips, It's like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I still doing that? Like at this point, I'm just going to go out and fucking skate, film it, whatever I have on my phone, like, or whether it be like a shit post or something, or whether it be like, that's actually something I miss doing a lot. I used to fucking shit post hard on my main channel, and it was fucking fun. And like, and sometimes the videos would pop off. Like I would do this like purposeful clickbait thing, but then just kind of, I was super influenced by PewDiePie, honestly, at that time. Yeah. Because he did content similar like that, so I kind of just like applied it to skating. And I think that maybe it might have been too early, because while some of those videos did well, but like I feel like that's more the style of content people gravitate towards today. And that's kind of where the humor is in the internet. And also a lot of the humor in the internet, like I don't even fucking like, it's so meta that like if you don't have the context or the subcontext for like the meme or the joke, it's like it's over your head, So it's like that's a whole nother fucking thing of like that's just lost to me. Yeah,
for sure. You said that if the second channel started doing really well, like you would kind of jump ship and do that. Like, is that something, like, if it did become sustainable financially, or more sustainable financially, and more fulfilling and stuff like that, would you like abandon the skate channel, or would you like just post every once in a while on the skate channel?
I don't think I would ever fully abandon it, because skating isn't going anywhere. Like, it's a big part of like, who I am still, even though I'm trying to like fucking detach like who I am to it. Yeah. But it's still, I would still post on it, but I would put a lot less focus in it. And I just think there's just more room to like, now that I'm here, now that I've been doing this for 5 years, which like to me might not feel like a long time, because I don't really even feel like I've gotten anywhere with this. I still don't feel like that. Because I mean, I'm still like, yeah, I have like subscribers, but it's like, it's not, my 5-year plan was I wanted to make my shit like really big. And there's just a cap with skating. And like the people that were watching me 5 years ago that were 17 are now 23. They're probably into different shit. And, they're not like, they might not even be on YouTube anymore, or they like have full-time jobs somewhere. It's like, so it's, I would really like to get that second channel popping, and there's just more reach there. I feel like the content has more purpose. It's like more valuable, and I still have that, like, regardless of how well like my numbers are or not, like I still have this opportunity, and I'm gonna still try to like make something work of this before I go and get a job, because I've went and got a full-time job before while I've done YouTube. Like, I'm not afraid to do that, but like I'm gonna do this until like until it doesn't work anymore, and then I'll get a fucking job.
Yeah, and kind of going off of what George said earlier, what in you wants to have that separation of channels? Like, why wouldn't you just go all in on the skate channel? Is it because you want to keep it like skate algorithm friendly, or because you think like those people don't care? It's like, do you not want those annoying kids that still comment on the skate videos to be like, what the fuck is this?
No, I think it'll do better. It has a better chance of doing better. I mean, I already have a skate audience on my channel that wants to see skating. Right. Like they don't care about like anything else. And I didn't fucking care. If I was fucking 16, I didn't care about anything else either. I was like, oh, skating. Like, if you're gonna talk about some dumb shit, like, I don't give a fuck. Where's the skating? So it's like I have there's a skate audience over there already. So like I would just like I think that might be channel suicide. if I did that. So it would already kill my channel, and it has better potential to do better over here, and then garnish an audience that might not even know who I am or recognize me because they like don't know about skating. Like that's what I want to do, is like find an audience that's like literally outside of skating. They're like, oh no, I don't even fucking know who this dude is, you know, which would be cool.
I feel quite similar about my second channel, and I had a long internal debate about whether I should just start posting whatever I want on the skate channel, and ultimately kind of went with the separation. And I'll say it feels really good when my second channel reaches that new audience and I get like a nice comment from someone like actually engaging with like the philosophy I'm talking about, or the thoughts, and it's not like, yo, like what shoes are those, bro?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It like feels really good to like find that audience with an intellectual connection, you know, as opposed to just like this I don't know, this interest in my
Yeah.
skating, which you know, I've had that skate identity crisis too, and I'm feeling like I'm not a skater anymore.
Right.
So then like having this audience that just like complements the skating and stuff kind of doesn't really feel as good as it used
Right.
to, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So Dale, I want to get some advice from you.
Okay. Dude,
because this is.
oh,
Go ahead.
I can't believe I'm gonna do this. I have to piss so bad.
Oh.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
I'll
dude.
be right
Yeah,
back. I'm
you're
so
chilling. We're
sorry.
good.
All good, Dale. Welcome
Do you guys
back.
ever?
It's all good,
Do you guys
man.
ever race the toilet when you're pissing? Like,
Race?
yeah, like
Race it?
like you'll flush before you're done pissing, and then try to finish before it flushes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely
Usually
done that.
only if my stream is taking embarrassingly long and people can hear it
Yeah.
outside, then I'll flush early and try to finish it in that time. Yeah.
Do you guys
Interesting.
sit or stand when you pee?
If I'm home, I mostly sit.
Yeah,
I typically stand, but
I,
sometimes
for
I'll
the most
sit.
part sit.
Yeah, at home I mostly
Oh, wow.
mostly sit at home. In public I usually stand unless I've got that handicap stall.
Yeah,
Then I,
take advantage.
I don't know. I find that the stream is better when I'm standing. Something
Dude, my
about the
shit
angle.
fucking goes all over the place. I'm like, God, I'm sick and tired of I'm tired of cleaning this up.
Same.
Yeah.
Especially if I live with my girlfriend, so it's just like fuck it. I'm just gonna sit down.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Why not? This is a sitting household.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Wait, one more question. Have you guys ever tried a squatty potty?
Where it like
No, but
where
I
it
want
raises
one.
your legs up? Dude, yeah, this
Yeah,
shit literally
yeah,
just
yeah.
falls right out of you. It's like
Dude, that thing is a godsend. I don't have one, but yeah, it's amazing.
they're
Wow.
sick.
Yeah.
Not
Not
sponsored.
sponsored.
Damn that.
All right, Danny, go ahead.
But do you wipe from the back to the front or the front to the back?
Dude, from the fucking
Oh,
like
come on.
I don't wipe towards my dick. Yeah, definitely don't
Right.
wipe towards my dick.
That's how you
Yeah.
get diseases.
Okay. Anyway. Fuck, dude.
Advice.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. So I hear you guys talking about all this shit, and me and George have been talking about this for quite some time now. I mean, since probably like it started last year. We're like, what the fuck do we do? Like the whole skate. Like those skate vlogs aren't really working anymore. We're kind of also not really feeling like we want to do that anymore because like the like the whole formula and like everything, like it's kind of lost its like its charm, at least to us. And so, but you guys have much bigger channels. I have a small channel, and so I have wanted to. I tried the second channel thing. I made a second channel, and it's actually quite similar to yours, Dale, where it's like kind of like mental health related and like just kind of talking about like whatever like you want to talk about, and not super structured. But then I'm like, fuck, like I missed my main channel because like, you know, I still worked hard. I still built up like to the amount of subscribers, like, and it was a lot of work. And my videos, when they were skate related, they used to do pretty well for the size of my channel. And now it's like I don't want to make skate videos anymore. I just want to do whatever. but it doesn't do well on the second channel, and it doesn't do well on the skate channel. And then I know that I have to stop the random shit that I want to make, like whether it be mental health related or if it's like I've thrown up a couple of like vegan food recipe videos or just like some random shit, you know, just not skateboarding related stuff. And I've noticed that there's a small core group of people from back then when my channel did well that still like it. And they're like, oh, like, you do you, Danny. But then there's like just like the, you know, thousands of other people who don't want to watch that anymore, you know?
Yeah, okay, so, man, dude, I don't know. I mean, because my channel's been so, like, up and down and all over the place, I feel like Dan's a better person to ask for advice simply because, like, he looks at analytics a lot. And, like, I don't ever. Like, I don't...
Yeah, I was never an analytics person either.
I pay attention to, like, the ecosystem and, like, what's popular and all of, like, the meta. You know, that's, like, what I'm paying attention to. And Dan is so in the analytics. And, I mean, like, can't fucking knock it because his shit's doing well. So it's, like, you know. But I don't want to do that. Like, here I'm going kicking.
No, yeah, I feel you.
I'm, like, kicking and screaming. Like, I don't want to fucking do that because it's boring and it's whatever. But, I mean, dude, you can... How big is your main channel?
Somewhere at 13, 14,000, something like that.
Fuck, dude. It's, like, still so small. You could totally, like, make
That's exactly why it's, like, I'm like, fuck, I should just keep it because, like, if someone goes on to... My second channel's got, like, I don't know, 150 subscribers or something. So it's, like, if someone sees a video on that channel, they're like, who the fuck is this random dude? But then if they see at least a channel that's a little bit more established... They might be more inclined to watch or stick around. But then it's like, I don't want to think about views. I don't want to think about subscribers because when my channel was doing well, when I started growing it, it was when I moved to New York and then me and George started skating and then, you know, the channel started doing well. A lot of videos did pretty well. And then,
I
don't know. It's just not the same as it used to be.
Right. I think that small number might actually have the opposite effect because people are like, oh, this is like a smaller channel. This is clearly like from the heart, passion, you know, that kind of stuff. So I think that's sometimes that's better. You know, it's not always.
So you're saying okay. And I know, and I'm taking everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, Dale Decker said that this is what I have to do.
Yeah.
Sorry. Dale Decker said this is what I have to do. That's what I'm going to do. But just to make sure I'm understanding, you're saying that the second channel with the very small amount of subscribers could be potentially maybe more effective than the other channel that has a bigger following that was skate related.
Sure, but I'm only saying that that's a possible like scenario. I'm not saying that that's a bulletproof. Like I'm not saying that that's something to super latch onto, but your main channel is still so small that like you could, and like I feel this way about my channel too, like, and these are the conversations I've had with Dan because I was just going to start posting all of like the kinds of videos I posted on my second channel yesterday. I was just going to start posting shit like that on my main channel, and Dan talked me out of it, and I've gone back and forth, you know, because I feel like my channel's still small enough that I could garnish an audience that's outside of skating, but if YouTube takes notice that when I upload a video that most of my subscribers aren't watching the video, they're not gonna push it, right? So if you do shit on like a new channel where the majority of people that are subscribed are watching, then it's gonna push it to more people, you know? So like, I mean, you can do something super fucking crazy to like, you know, try to blow up your channel, which is like, which is what a lot of people do, you know, like when they have smaller channels. No. It's only getting.
It's also different now because like back then, like George and I were on the grind. You know what I mean? Like we were getting together every single day. I mean, we lived down the street from each other, so we were getting together every single day, skating, filming 1, 2, multiple videos a day, and just we were in it, you know. And like now, like I don't live in New York anymore. George does his own thing, and like I do my own thing, and we've also lost track of like we don't really care about like that like mass viewership anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't care to blow up a channel anymore. Back then, like it was like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm gonna like this is gonna be my full-time job, and like it's all I want, And now it's like I don't care about that kind of thing anymore. Now it's just more about fun, but then they're still in the back of my head. It's like, fuck, I still want people to watch my videos, you know? Put a lot of work into them.
Yeah. Danny, I think you actually have a lot of freedom here because, like Dale said, the skate channel is the bread and butter. It's the same for me. I can't really tell, but I think that's the only reason I'm still posting skate videos. But if that weren't the case, I think I would just post whatever I want on the main channel, because I've been thinking about this concept that I call the soul audience, where it's like the viewers of that video, like they want to see what's in your heart, you know? Like they want to see what you want to create. And it's like, why make this stuff that you don't really care about to find this? Then you're going to find an audience that cares about stuff that you don't care about. And then you're just putting yourself deeper into a pickle, you know? So you might as well just make what you want, let the people who like it find it, and then you're going to slowly find an audience who like actually fucks with you.
Yeah, I guess it's just like going back to what I was saying, like it's the channel in scale, obviously it's a lot smaller, but back then, like when we were doing this, like I had a very very tight knit skateboarding, like all those like skate kids or people who watched us back then. And then now it's like I stopped posting for months, and then like I mean like a year ago. And then that was when I moved to Long Beach, and then I like just stopped posting YouTube videos. I got super depressed.
Wait, what Long Beach?
I was like, Long Beach, California.
You lived out here?
I lived there for 6 months.
Oh wow. When?
And then now I live in SF. This was last year.
Whoa. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, George was like, you should hit up Dale, and I was like, I don't know, man, I'm kind of like intimidated, and I never did.
Really?
Nah, dude.
And then yeah,
I knew Dale would be a teddy bear, bro.
but I was also I was going through like a lot of mental stuff back then, so like I also was kind of didn't do anything. I skated like twice. So that's when I kind of stopped uploading to my channel, and then when I moved to San Francisco, I started uploading like more, like just a little bit more, and then when I finally wanted to stop doing skate videos is when I started uploading like even more.
Got it.
But whatever, I'm hearing your perspective, and I still don't fucking know what to do, so we can move on.
No, you're good, dude. I mean, like I said, I think your channel's like still small enough that you could do whatever you wanted, because I mean, if you post something that people can't not click on, then you get all the attention back, and then ride that wave. You know what I mean? So it's like you can take that route, like try shit until people have to click. They're like, whoa, what the fuck? And then they have to click, which is getting a lot harder to do now, right? But
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but you could still get attention like on you that way, you know? So it's a game, you know? It is, and you got to play.
Oh yeah,
you know?
for sure. I mean, I remember when we used to do it, like I kind of liked that game back then. I don't really like the game that much anymore. Like I remember like a video would do well, and you're just automatically like, holy fuck. And George and I got really sucked into the 1 of 10 to 10 of 10 struggle, and we'd be like struggling all weekend, like, fuck bro, my video's 9 of 10, 10 of 10.
Oh.
And it would ruin our entire weeks.
Oh, dude, my like entire last 6 months of videos are like 9 out of 10. Every fucking video.
Oh yeah, same.
Pretty much same.
It's
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
But yeah. Sorry, George.
I was about to say we've had you here for an hour, man. So I think it might be time to start wrapping it up. Any final thought? Were you gonna ask a new question?
I was.
Danny?
I mean, but Dale, if you got to go, like, that's fine.
Dude, I'm chilling. I don't honestly, I don't have anything to do. I enjoy talking to people, you know. Like, truthfully, I think it's just nice to have a conversation, you know.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It's up to you guys. It's in your court.
Yeah. George, what about you?
Yeah, I'm good for another 25. We don't have to push it there, but why don't you ask what you were going to ask, Danny?
I think we've exhausted, at least from my side, the social media aspect of things. This one's more skating related. I just kind of want to see where your head's at with in terms of, switching channels or starting a whole new thing. Has that changed your relationship with skateboarding?
Well, I think when something becomes when like a passion or hobby becomes your job, it changes your relationship with that hobby for sure, So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really go out and just skate if I'm not going to film it because for one, it feels like why would I do this? Why am I going to waste that sounds so terrible. Why am I going to waste my time?
No, but we know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we know.
But lately, there'll be times where I'll get invited out on a Powell sesh and there's fucking five YouTubers there. So I'm like, not pulling my camera out today. And I just end up skating all day and I end up having like a good time. And then, so it's like, it's fine. But that's another thing. I want to, I'm enjoying skating a lot more lately. When I skate when I want to, that's when it's fun, obviously. But it would be really nice to not have skating. Dude, what if I sound like such an ungrateful fucking bitch? It's like, it would be really nice to not have skating be my job now. If I could have my job be something else that I'm passionate in, like my second channel, I'm passionate about just fucking I just like conversation and I like proposing ideas and talking about ideas and stuff. And so that would be really fucking cool if that became, the job, and then skating, I could just fucking go and skate. It's like my thing that I do for fun now is jujitsu. That's the thing. Yeah, dude.
Oh, cool.
That's sick.
Best fucking shit. Love it. I'm obsessed. It's I feel like I'm learning how to kick football all over again. It's fucking amazing. And I know it's you can fucking meme it or whatever, but it's sick. I mean, I got made fun of for fucking skating when I started skating, And now it's the irony is skaters making fun of me for doing jujitsu. And it's
But is anyone actually making fun of you? No.
I think
right?
it's I'm half joking and half serious, but dude, there's always a level of seriousness to jokes. That's why they're funny, So it's
right.
I'm you're fucking poking fun, but it's I don't know, oh, how the tables have turned,
Right.
Yeah.
But
I've had things like that in my life. Just honestly, just biking around the city is kind of a new activity for me, and I fucking love it. And going to the gym.
I do that too. I started doing that.
Yeah, I think I somewhere heard you mention this thing about going to the gym and how it kind of changed your relationship with skating a little. Did I make that up? I swear I heard you say something
I very
like
well
that.
could have. I very well could have. I'm trying to think.
It was something about, I believe it was something about how you get your energy out at the gym, so then when you skate, it's not as quite so intense.
Yeah, I can kind of just fuck around and have fun, and I don't need to throw myself down shit. Because, dude, that's what I liked to do. I liked skating rails, and yeah, and now I'm just kind of I'll just skate the flat bar.
Dude, I feel you 100%.
Going through it similar.
Rails is my thing. I love skating handrails. It's the most fun fucking thing.
Yeah.
But now it's like a tiny ledge, a small ledge where I can just do a bunch of super tech tricks, or yesterday I skated to the grocery store and I found a tiny little bump to a curb.
Yeah.
And it was the most fun skating that I've done in a while, just because it was so free. It just happened. I didn't have to try super hard, didn't have to throw myself down anything. It was just that was the essence of skating, and that was what I fell in love with as a kid, was just rolling around having fun.
Yeah.
So I feel you.
Yeah, no, grinding just feels like you're flying, It kind of emulates.
It's pretty
yeah,
amazing
so
feeling.
I
love it.
I like grinding. That's why my flip trick game has always been super weak.
Same.
I've always gotten into just doing basic tricks, but I wanted to do them well, and that was also the mindset that was that skateboarding really harbored at the time of oh, style this, style that, and which is, I don't even know what that's like. Do people still, are they still like super into that? Are they still super into like
style?
Yeah, like does that matter as much, or what? Like I don't even know what it looks like anymore, really.
I think it just depends on like the person and like what they like. I know people who are like they love like the primitive type of skating, like.
But see, when I think of style, that isn't even what I think of. I don't think of primitive. Like I think of like, and it's funny because it's such a polarizing thing to me in my mind with like this type of skater or the type of skater that likes that kind of shit. Because I mean I fucking like that kind of shit. But when I think of style, I literally think of like the limousine guys. Like that's what I think of as style. Like I don't think like Tiago is the primitive exception. Love Tiago.
I see what you're saying then.
Yeah, or like any of those fucking sour dudes, like the Sour Solution videos.
Yeah, it's like that new age like grungy.
Dude, I love that shit. And like we watched like the videos that were super, that everyone was about, like where I grew up was like all the static videos, and everyone was like hell-bent on VX, like VX only, which, yeah, I was like, that's the shit that I was like super, super into.
Yeah, I don't know if people still, if that's, I think that's a thing, right?
Yeah, no, that sort of style is very popular right now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's interesting. There's just so much different skate content out there, I think it's I think skating's gonna plateau big. Yeah, Dan found.
What do you mean?
Why is that?
Well, first of all, Dan found a statistic the other day. I don't know where he pulled it from. I don't even remember the site. I could be completely wrong. These statistics could not be right. But just for conversation's sake, let's talk about it. Dan found a site that showed a graph and like all the statistics in skateboarding's popularity, and it took into account like skateboarding being searched on the internet and a bunch of things. And skateboarding has been on a downward trend since 2004. That was skating's peak. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
I think skating's really going to plateau. I think we're, who knows where the limit is, but there will be a time where the limit is like, okay, we are actually doing stuff where the level of risk is like way too fucking high. And like people aren't even super interested in that kind of skating that much anymore. It's like, okay, we get it. You can hold a backside 50-50 down as many kinks as you want. Like at a certain point, that isn't hard anymore, especially if you're cross-locking. It's like, okay, I'm just sitting here. But I think skating's going to get to a point where it's like, just like skate vlogs. Just like skate vlogs have lost their charm. I think skating, the charm, the shininess might be kind of going away, which is like personally fine with me, because I'm in
I don't think I really care that much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a situation where I
too.
kind of want to do something else anyway, Yeah, I mean, part of that comes from the fact that I did hit a reasonable goal that I wanted to hit, and I was like, okay, cool, we did that in life. Now let's like move on to the next thing. Let's try something else. But yeah, I just think a lot of the shininess might be wearing off of skating. I'm still always gonna skate because I love it, and it's like the one thing that I've been like decently good at, or like, I mean, decently. I say that loosely because everyone's fucking insane now, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think we'll see it less popularized. I might be biased.
I mean, for me, it's like.
I might be biased.
Go finish it.
But,
finish that thought.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think martial arts, like all forms of like martial arts, probably MMA is gonna become like the next big
you're biased.
wave of like it thing. I could be I could be biased, but dude, but it's crazy. Like Drea, my girlfriend, she works at Ruka. Dude, they have a whole fucking MMA combat like line. Like I didn't know how big in MMA they were, and it's pretty fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, and I'm like, whoa, dude, this shit's like, I don't know. And you just hear a lot more people like getting into it, or like there's a lot of old pros that that do some
That's
sort
cool.
of martial arts.
But I feel like there are times in
I
life
did not know that.
yeah,
where like everything is blowing up at the same time, you know? And so like if you're into MMA, like you'll think
True.
it's that
True.
MMA
Could be
is
right.
blowing up. But it could just be that kind of a lot of things are blowing up, and maybe
Right.
maybe there's other things like skating that are also on the decline. Like maybe there's some bigger trends.
yeah. I mean, it could just be what I'm paying attention to. You know, like I'm obviously
Yeah.
paying attention more to martial arts,
Yeah.
so it's like, you know,
But no, but yeah,
Probably
like
bi-
you could
probably
feel,
biased.
you could feel something is happening in skating, you know, and it like I don't think it's a coincidence that so
Yeah.
many of these skate YouTubers are going through a similar creative crisis, you know, like I've seen a lot of people make those videos
Yeah.
about like what's next for the channel or like starting a second channel and putting their eggs there.
Right. I know. I feel like I feel so much of like a meme right now because of it too. It's like I feel like the quintessential fucking meme, which is something I've tried so hard to fucking not be because I care so much about what other people think of me, and it fucks with me. It like fucks with me so hard, you know? And
No, it's good. See,
Yeah.
I don't care about
Sorry, I
being
cut you
corny
off.
at all. Like, in fact, I think that if you're being corny, it's probably because you're onto something true. Like, you know, if so many people are going through the same thing, there's probably something there, you know?
yeah. Yeah. No, you could be right. I mean, look, I'm always open to fucking new ideas, and I don't think any one person obviously has all the answers. But it's, I think a lot of us, I think a lot of what it is we're old faces, and there's new faces coming in, and and like that's like the trajectory of like a lot of things is that like out with the old, in with the new, and very few people learn how to adapt, reinvent,
Right.
and keep pushing, you know, because it's like, dude, there's so many pros from like back
Right.
in the day that I think about that you just don't even hear about anymore. Like they had a peak, but then there's pros that you hear about that have these long lasting careers. It's like it's up to, you know,
Right.
it's up to how you fucking
Yeah,
choose to
not
react
everyone
to
can
shit,
be
you
Tony
know?
Hawk, man.
Yeah.
Still having a skate career at that age.
Right. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
exactly. He's an exception for sure. Yeah. I don't
Shoot,
know.
man.
I have a question for you guys though.
Let's hear it.
All right. So you said you made a comment. You were like, I knew Dale would be a teddy bear. Do I look like I would be
No,
an asshole or something?
I think. Well, you're tatted up, right? I used to
Yeah.
have a perception of heavily tattooed people that they would be like rough on the edges and intimidating, but then around college time, I started meeting
Makes
people
sense,
with
though.
tattoos, and they were all the nicest people ever. And so then my like perception of you shifted
That's
into
funny.
I just knew you would be a nice guy.
Interesting. Well, it's because I've heard that before. Like people will say they're like, oh, you always seem so mad. Like I get comments that say that they're like, oh, you always seem so mad. I don't think I do a very good job at separating when I'm being sarcastic or ironic and
Right.
and like not. So I think
Yeah.
they kind of blend together and people.
It
will
could be,
fucking
yeah. No,
think
I've
I'm,
never
like,
had
being
that
a dick
perception
or,
of
like,
you though.
Actually. Okay, well that's good.
Same.
I was just curious.
No, I was more so just like my intimidation was I don't think it was nothing based like about you. I think it was more so just about me and like myself feeling insecure, so I was like scared to like reach out to someone else. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
But I think I always kind of knew you were. I mean, just from seeing you on the internet, like you seem like a nice guy. And now after talking to you for like over an hour,
Confirmed.
that's confirmed.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would hope that that's the impression I give off. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of makes
And
me not want
you're
to.
vegan, right? Or you were vegan, or you are vegan, or
I am. It's funny. I have a video going up on my second channel called "Vegan
Ooh.
Eats Meat Again" for the first time in 8 years.
Did you shit your brains out?
Yeah.
Do you eat meat?
I know.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I ate an.
What'd you eat?
How many viewers
like
do you guys have on here?
250 maybe.
Okay, fuck it. I'll just tell it. I ate an egg.
Okay.
So
Okay.
an egg is considered meat. I didn't know that.
I mean, it's
Thought it
like
was
a
dairy
fucking.
all this time.
It's like a fucking
But I looked it
dead
up and it's considered meat.
baby chicken.
Actually, it's an unfertilized egg, so it's a
Wow.
period.
Yeah,
I ate
it's
a lot of
basically a
eggs.
period.
It's a
me
period.
personally.
That's what an egg is.
I do.
Oh,
So
oh,
how
you
was
do?
it?
It was, dude. It was great. It was good. But I only ate it because it fit certain criteria for me.
Which was what, backyard,
Yup.
egg laying hen?
Yep, all that shit.
I feel you. And you've been vegan how long?
8.5 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me too. I've been vegan, I think, going on 8 years this summer.
Oh, okay, sick.
So that's what I was showing.
Do you
I've got
guys
Go
feel like a
Vegan written
bond
on
with
my
each
arm.
other
Nice.
for being vegan?
Maybe it's there.
Yeah,
Maybe.
But I mean,
I mean, there's definitely like a relatability aspect,
Yeah.
but
yeah. I feel like, I mean, I don't know how many other people who eat a plant-based diet like think this way, but I'm not like against hunting or anything of that nature. Like if I was taken out in like the fucking wilderness in Canada and shot a deer, like taken to shoot a deer, like I would eat that deer.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
I used to be a militant, like, piece of shit vegan, like, where I've been to slaughterhouses and like filmed.
Whoa.
And like that was in my angry vegan stage, maybe
Right.
like the first 3 years.
Yeah.
So much to getting a Go Vegan tattooed on my arm 1 year into being vegan.
Yeah.
Like I was in it, and then like 5, 6 years in, 7, like that's like when I chilled out. I met a whole lot of people. I became more empathetic and more compassionate towards people.
Yeah.
And
there's-
and my girlfriend is vegan, and she's not a militant vegan, but she's vegan. But
Yeah.
she like showed me that empathy that I could have towards people. Like, oh, just because people don't eat meat or just because people eat meat doesn't mean they're fucking pieces of shit. And then
Yeah.
so since then, like I used to try to skate only vegan shoes. Like I don't care anymore. I'll skate non-vegan shoes, and like I've tasted like some non-vegan stuff, so I feel it.
Being able to go vegan is a first world privilege that I think a lot of people don't understand. You know, because it's like
Yeah, for sure.
you can't, and I mean, even maybe not even just, it's not even just a first world privilege, dude, because it's like, you know, a lot of people don't have this, like, the knowledge. Like, they simply just don't have, like, the knowledge of, like, where food comes from or, like, why it's bad or what it's in
Yeah.
or whatever. And it's like, to be honest, I've put a lot of fucking gnarly shit into my body. Like, the last thing that I'm super concerned about is antibiotics and hormones that are in a chicken. Like, I've put gnarlier shit in my body than that. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But for me, it's, like, the ethical shit that fucks with me. But you can't like go around fucking shaming people who like don't have the knowledge
Yeah.
or don't understand or simply don't have the fucking option. Like there are people that live in places where they don't have the option, you know, to do that.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
I agree.
yeah. So I mean, a lot of it's
I'm with you.
yeah. A lot of
I'm
it's
with
just
you. I
fucking
met
stupid.
a heroin addict who's vegan, and my mind was blown.
Oh yeah.
I used to work in treatment a few years back, a couple years ago, and this one of the dudes was a heroin addict, and he was like, I worked in detox, and so he came into detox, and he's like, "Do you guys have anything vegan?" And my mind was just like blown, and I was like, "Oh my god, I've been waiting to meet a vegan heroin addict."
That's crazy.
And but yeah, I mean, and like he was saying the same shit. He's like, dude, I know like this is such a contradiction. Like I'm fucking trying to be super, and he was vegan for the health reasons. He didn't care about the animals.
Interesting, because it's like
It was so interesting.
being vegan
But,
does not equate to like health. in my opinion. Like,
I know.
You know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
There's so much vegan junk food out there now that's like fucking trash.
Dude, hell yeah, I love it.
Okay, let me ask you, did the heroin addict, did he or they or she, did they look young?
He
did look young. He was if I remember correctly, in his 30s.
Dude, heroin keeps you fucking looking young. That's not me telling people to go fucking do heroin, but I'm just saying, it's from what I've been told. I've never done heroin. From what I've been told, by people who were heroin addicts, heroin kind of preserves a lot of shit in your body. Super weird.
Maybe. I mean, I've met somewhere between maybe like 300 to like 500 heroin addicts, and I will say that I never once was like, damn, you look good.
Dude, I feel like every time...
Maybe after the detox, they look good, but...
Yeah. No, that's what I mean.
They come in,
yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, after they get
that.
sober, like, I'm like, damn, okay, yeah, you look young. But then, like, everyone who's, like, addicted to alcohol looks like they've aged, like, 20-plus years.
Oh, yeah, for sure. After you get sober, yeah, I mean, that takes, like... That can take like 10, 20 years off of you. So maybe like not while you're strung out, like you're preserving yourself.
Yeah. And I mean, look, I'm not a fucking doctor. I'm just again, I'm just saying like conversations that I've had with people and things that I've noticed. I'm not.
So basically, what we're gonna put a quote, and it says heroin is good for the skin. Yeah. Dale Decker.
Oh God.
That's going to be on our podcast merch.
Hey, maybe that statement will get people to fucking go to my channel. Yeah.
Oh God, I think George. I think George froze.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's back.
There he is.
You back, George? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't
hear us.
Oh, there he goes. I didn't mean for that question to go into such a long tangent. I know George said he had to go, so.
But let's call it. Dale, if you ever
go.
come up to Northern California, hit me up.
Dude, I will. I'm down. You should send me.
I'll do the same.
You should send me a DM so I can find your Instagram and have it, and I'll. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll shoot it right after this, right when we get off.
Yeah, Dale, this was awesome, bro. Pleasure to.
I was just gonna say, dude, it's been nice chatting with you guys. Yeah, I got to finally meet you and talk to you.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll keep in touch. Not while
Yeah,
recording.
no, I'm down. Super down.
All right, man. Yeah, so everybody listening, check out Dale Decker on the internet.
Thank you. I have YouTube channels.
No problem.
Anything you want to say, Dale?
No. No, I don't think so.
No?
I think I said
I like
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
I like that. Cool. Yeah. So we could just wrap up then.
Okay.
I guess.
So do I hang up first?
Yeah, you hang up.
Yeah.
You hang up. We're gonna do our little Patreon plug in. Yeah, man, it's been real, dude.
No, it has. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, Dale.
Take care. Yeah, of course.
All right,
Hell yeah,
peace.
dude. Take care. Dale fucking Decker, dude. What a nice guy.
All right, peace.
All right, bye.
I need to get like my own Wi-Fi in this room or some shit.
Yeah,
man.
I think if we're gonna keep doing this, you might have to.
That'd be pretty expensive though.
But you want to just roll this outro real quick?
Yeah, man. So thanks everyone for listening, and thank you again to Dale. Really appreciate him taking the time.
We want to thank our patrons.
Yes, we do. Do we remember them all?
Oh fuck, dude! I can never remember. I just gotta write them down and keep it on my fucking.
We want to shout out Evan, Brian,
Kyle,
Hayden, Kyle,
Caroline, Tim,
no,
Jack.
I think that's it.
My fucking dog is barking.
If we missed anyone, we fucking owe you one,
I'm sorry.
If anyone out there listening wants to support the podcast on Patreon, this is the primary way that we are funding these episodes. And we host monthly Zoom calls where we get to further these conversations with all of you guys. So
It'll be a good time. That's patreon.com/lettinggo if you want to support. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. I got to take a fat ass piss. Oh, and maybe if we get a lot of patrons, I'll get my own Wi-Fi in this room.
Yeah, come on. George needs his own Wi-Fi.
This would all go a lot smoother if I would stop cutting out.
Yeah. Oh, well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll catch you in the next one next week.
Peace.
Bye.